glamour. Too fast, black car, too fast. To be replaced by one so much more beautiful. Of course it killed her. What you get for trying to be a cupcake. Let sparrows harry the raptor. Let murderess dip her blade of grass in perfume. Every twisting strand of hair a rope could save or hang you. We have some things to work on mentally. Of course, a phrase we usually won't need. Clearly, generally, iceberg lettuce of the language. Broadway star hopped coffee in recovery. Of course, in general, coffee makes you pretty. Meet me at the Church of the Immaculate Virgin, corner of Beaver and Cherry. Too fast, black car. Flagstaff, I told you so. If you're rich, you don't have to be friendly. Is anything better now? At the time she died, even the literati thought arugula was a weed. Right. So some things are better, right? We appreciate arugula. So I'll read you one more of this stuff. Actually, I think I'll switch. This is the book. I'll read you a few of these. This book is very Texan, even though I wrote it largely in California and Arizona. But I guess because it was my first book, you know. So I was just thinking about my childhood, my life, my deep connections. My dad was dying at the time that I wrote the book. He died right before I published the book. So there are a lot of poems in here about him. So I'll read my favorite poem I wrote for my dad called The Ménerbes. There's a beautiful little art museum in San Antonio. And there was a visiting exhibition with a painting by an American painter named Kay Sage. She wrote this poem to go with her painting. The painting was called Les Passages. And it was a self-portrait of the painter with her back to the viewer. And her husband, Yves Tanguy, was a French painter who had died, and she was deeply grieved about his death. So this is the poem, The Ménerbes. The trouble is, I always want to go there with you. When we exit the museum into the double heat, I place my hand in yours. Your sockless, loafered steps are slow. You know your shins are sticks, your mouth is dry, your elegant, strong feet and hands, now oversized like de Berber's bronze ones. We angle into shade to talk about the work, Sage's canvas with her back turned toward us, as she faces a featureless plain. Paints language, singing her dirge for Tanguy. Her vision, landscape, nightmare, monotony, upset by the beauty of the back of her left arm, the beauty of her naked back, her self-understanding. We know you're going. How can anybody help it? I know despair's pathology, that the world could never be so bland, so flat as that suicide scenery. Yet I still can't see how it will ever be okay for you to leave it. Okay, this is a persona poem. My brother can guarantee that none of this ever happened. It's called Jellyfish Elvis. When my aunt by marriage, Aunt Noreen, was in the Beach movie with Elvis and she said his toenails were too long, I used to think it all was her. He couldn't be the slob she took him for. That all that crap about his breath being a bomb, his table manners like an army mess, his undershirts rust-stained and even his eyebrows permanently out of whack was just a bunch of sour grapes that she cooked up to balance for the fact that she was cut out of the picture after it had wrapped. In spite of how it hardly was her fault about the man of war that stung her shin during the kissing scene with Elvis and a couple other girls, when he was grabbing her around her waist and had his tongue, she swears, half down her throat, when, like a fireball or a billion ant bites all at once, the tentacle associated with her leg. And naturally, without a chance to think about it, even to cry out, she bit him hard. But other stuff's come out about him. Pills and funny sandwiches. And dry old bird she is, Noreen still has a scar. So, let's see. Just to read you a few more Texas-y ones. This is kind of a universal international one. I sleep with patriarchy. I sleep with patriarchy in his tent that looks out over the world. Light sheds white leaves between leaves of the sliva trees. To get the grass right, I'll need some black paint. The present is an umbrella. Now opens and closes each of its zillion eyes. Patriarchy must mark everything with intention. His tail wakens at the base of my spine. I believe it will be mine. Okay, so now back to Texas. This one is called Nostalgia for Apollo. We have a pretty small family, but my dad's brother, our uncle, his family lived pretty close to where NASA, the main NASA institution was, back in the dawn of time when I was a child. And so this, I guess that made me more interested in all the Apollo stuff. So this is a poem that I wrote after watching this really great documentary a few years ago all about the Apollo program, and had all kinds of interviews with the astronauts, and it was pretty great, I thought. So Nostalgia for Apollo. Back then, back there, the handsome astronauts could build their own machines. Each man assigned a wing, a plan, a system to design. In their white shirts and their thin ties, they worked it out. At cocktail parties, on cocktail napkins at the bar, they synchronized the rendezvous of master's ship with its squat module. Or alone in their well-ordered minds, they engineered the right thing for a man to say when stepping off the last rung onto lunar dust, just after taking a piss on the ladder. I miss their gravity-free cantering across the fields of the moon, their silent, patient waving from behind curved glass, their close-cropped hair, their mission control cigars, their guts. I miss their elevated heart rates at the takeoff, godlike their views of Earth's swirled atmosphere, their ticker tape parades, their cowboy tendency to terseness, their quaint faith in our nation, their quaint male universe in which I was a lovely and a silent child. Not really, but. So I guess I'm gonna read you one more. It's the last poem in the book, and it's called Third Eye. I say part of the eye has seen loss, part waits for it. Yet two horses, mild as mild dogs, came into the house. You could say we could agree to love them while you read a book of accidental humor. In an etching, cylindrical engines blow the man overboard back onto the ship, aloft on fonts of water, frothing, comic as sea monsters to science. You tell me, science, the mouse in my stomach is doubt, is the animal fear, wriggling. Yet, sleeping naked, I go closer to beloved you, naked in a distant state, as Buddha on the bathroom counter holds something gold, maybe a lotus or a flame, between planes of his soul's Limoges. A gray horse settles down on kitchen floor before we touch her. Gladness fills the room, sunning the waiting, cracking it open. On the prow, a shark's jaw painted open. Oh, golden, oh, gold. Thank you.